Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I'm right now living in Alpine, Wyoming. If you want to find out anything about me, go to MySpace, Facebook, or Twitter, where I have accounts. This here is just a very simple and easy economic concept pitch that I want to make that might, if we could ever get our leaders to listen to it, that just might get us out of this big mess that we're in. Of course, the first one is something that a lot of us support, and that's getting rid of the Federal Reserve. We should be printing our own money as the Constitution gives us the right to do, rather than having 12 banks, which some are foreign, printing the money for us and then being paid, the interest on it. In other words, they're making money. I'm all for capitalism. I'm about as big a capitalist as you can get. But we should be printing our own money. That way, as far as I know, we don't have to pay any interest on it. Of course, you have to be very careful about printing too much. Obviously, we know what happens if you do that. But that's one thing that needs to be done. And there's a lot of libertarians and conservatives calling for that. But unfortunately, the Democrats and Republicans are not really making much of an effort to do that. We need to do what the Constitution states, and that is print our own money from now on. But my idea is a bit radical, but it would work. And it would get the states out of debt at a very quick pace. Why don't we let the states from now on start collecting all the tax money and let them send whatever portion they're supposed to send to the federal government? Rather than having the federal government do most of the tax collecting, except for your states and local taxes, and then distributing it to the states. The danger, I think the problem we're having is we've got the federal government that's hogging everything, taking everything, stealing all the money for themselves and misspending it because it gives them more power up there to give aid around the world and give to the UN to waste and things like that. And so they want all of it. And then the states are left without a whole lot. If the states could collect the money and let them keep a lot of that money, which would reduce the power of the federal government and would not make it as easy for them to waste it. That's part of the idea. Most of these states, if not all these states, could quickly pay their debts off, have a surplus, and get their state economies back going. If they can get their state economies back going, then on the federal level, we'll be able to get back out of this recession in a hurry. The states should collect the money. It's as simple as that. We should get rid of the IRS. And if there's going to have to be an IRS, let each state have their own IRS offices. And of course, with the requirement that the IRS, if they arrest somebody for tax evasion and stuff like that, they're innocent until proven guilty. Before 1994, when the Republicans took over, it was actually 1995 when they actually took office. The law was that when the IRS accuses you of a crime or arrests you, you're guilty until proven innocent, which should have been ruled unconstitutional a long time ago. But that must remain in effect. But that's how the states could get out of the mess, like California with a $19 billion debt. And of course, there would come with a warning that if the state gets in economic trouble, they're on their own. But in order to get the economy going, the states need to have their own money, a lot more of it. They need to send, again, an agreed amount that would be required. The federal government, like I said, will have to give up a lot of money and let the states begin to start dealing with their own problems and pay their own bills and and here's the other good thing about that. If we could do that, it also makes it possible to hold these governors and these state legislators more accountable because they can be recalled, at least on the governors. They can be recalled like happened in California. On the federal level, you can't recall the president necessarily. It's never been done. I don't think it's constitutional anyway. But you can call back a governor. If that governor is wasting your money, just going crazy with it, they can recall that governor, whether it's a man or woman. That's something the federal government, the senators, and especially the progressives don't want. They don't want accountability. They don't want you to be able to call them back when they screw up. Well, this would make it more possible, and we could hold more of our elected officials on the state level accountable for how they spend our money. We can't hold them as accountable as much as we would like to, as much as we think we can today, on a federal level. That right there is the truth. We need to go and get ourselves out of this mess is to let the states begin collecting the money. And it is constitutional. I can't prove it's constitutional, but I've been researching this for a long time, and there's nothing that would make it unconstitutional. I'll just put it to you that way. The other thing I would say that would also make it make this worthwhile is if I were president, I would be telling the governors of all 50 states that I'm going to charge you with the responsibility of coming up with your own little healthcare plan. And, you can pitch it to the federal government. We'll work with you and help you out to put one together. And let's see which state can come up with the right healthcare plan, which the other 49 would want to adopt for themselves. The other thing I would charge the governors with is I would tell them very bluntly that I'm going to charge you with the responsibility of creating jobs in your own state. I'm giving you a lot more money, a lot more power over your state. Now you're going to have to make the deals, cut taxes, do whatever it takes to get businesses to come to your state and open up. Meaning all 50 governors are going to find themselves competing against one another. That's called capitalism. That's called competition. It will work. That's how we can get ourselves out of this mess. We may not get out of the debt mess as much. It's going to take a lot longer, but we can get our economy going that way. If you like the idea, pitch it. Thank you for your time.